Ever asked yourself why some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly, while others struggle no matter how hard they work? The secret lies not in the hours they spend or the tasks they do, but in the invisible energy they carry, the aura they have trained to welcome abundance. Is the unseen field around you shaped by your inner state of mind and heart? It is not mystical in some unreachable way, but profoundly practical. You hold. Every emotion you nurture paints colors upon this invisible canvas. If your mind is filled with lack, fear, and worry, broadcasts scarcity. But when you cultivate conviction, gratitude, and imagination, your aura becomes a magnet that wealth cannot resist. Is not first attracted by action, but by the inner vibration you carry. This statement may appear simple, the profound secret to transforming your entire life. So many of us are taught from childhood that to gain more, we must do more, push harder. While effort has its place, the true magnet of wealth is not sweat but spirit, not the force of your hands, but the frequency of your mind. Without aligned energy is like casting a net into dry sand. But when your vibration is tuned to abundance, action carries extraordinary power. The world around you responds not to your frantic striving, but to the silent current flowing through your aura. Consider how you feel when you enter a room where someone radiates confidence, joy, or peace. You sense it without words. Their invisible energy moves you. The same happens with wealth. Prosperity is not merely a pile of coins or paper. It is energy, and like energy, attracts like energy. When your inner state is filled with worry, doubt, and fear, your aura communicates to the world that you expect struggle. Struggle comes. But when your inner vibration is one of calm assurance, of faith that life already favors you, your aura calls forth opportunities, ideas, and connections that align with wealth. It is not magic, it is law. This truth teaches us that the journey to abundance begins within. Appears in your hand. It must first take root in your imagination and settle in your emotions. If you carry the constant sense that you are lacking, you push prosperity further away. Yet the moment you dare to see yourself as already abundant, something changes within you. You no longer walk like a beggar hoping for scraps. You move like a master who knows that life cannot deny what is already his. This shift is not arrogance, it is alignment with the deeper reality that the source of wealth is infinite and always flowing. Many wonder why they work tirelessly yet see little progress. It is because their action is seated in a vibration of lack. In the morning with anxiety about bills, and though they labor the entire day, their broadcasts fear. That fear contaminates their work, conversations, even their opportunities. On the other hand, there are those who may not labor with the same strain, seems to find them again and again. It is not luck, but the unseen law of attraction at work. Their inner vibration is one of certainty. Certainty is magnetic. Training your aura begins with training your thoughts. Every thought carries energy, and repeated thoughts carve grooves in your aura. If you continually affirm to yourself, money is scarce, I never have enough, aura is programmed to reflect scarcity. But if you train yourself to affirm, abundance flows to me, is my natural state, opportunities rise before me. Your aura shifts to carry that vibration. The change may be subtle at first, but over time, your field, the world outside, cannot help but bend to the command of your inner state. Important to understand that action will still be required, but action without vibration is weak, while action aligned with abundance is unstoppable. Imagine two farmers planting seeds. One works with the constant thought that his land is cursed, his labor in vain. The other tills with joy, expecting a rich harvest. Both plant the same seeds, but the energy behind the action determines the quality of the results. Responding only to what you do. It is responding to who you are while you do it. First attracted by what you chase, but by what you embody. When you embody abundance within your vibration, you cease chasing and begin attracting. Move, work, and strive, but the spirit with which you do it transforms the outcome. The truth is simple but often overlooked. You not become wealthy because you run faster. You become wealthy because you vibrate higher. Train your aura to resonate with abundance. Life itself will arrange the steps before you, guiding you into opportunities and blessings that your effort alone could never achieve. Is not distant, it is already circling around you, waiting for your vibration to call it home. A mirror of your dominant thoughts and feelings. What you live within is what you draw without. This truth, though invisible, as certain as the rising of the sun. Every person carries an unseen atmosphere, a field of energy that extends beyond their physical form. Aura is not shaped by chance or by outer circumstances, but by the inner stories you continually tell yourself, the emotions you nurture, images you hold steady in your imagination. Like a mirror, it reflects back into your life exactly what you are willing to sustain within. If your mind is crowded with thoughts of lack, worry, and limitation, your aura becomes colored by those frequencies. You begin to meet them everywhere in the outer world. But when your heart holds peace, gratitude, and expectancy of good, your aura shines with abundance, mirrors that brightness back to you. It is easy to believe that external events shape our inner state, but in reality the flow is reversed. World is only a shadow of the inner condition. When you live in constant frustration, you attract experiences that justify your frustration. In gratitude, life conspires to give you more to be grateful for. That circumstances randomly align. It is that your aura signals to life what kind of events you are prepared to receive. The law is subtle yet exact, cannot reflect an image that is not first placed before it. Likewise, your aura cannot reflect wealth, joy, opportunity if your inner state is dominated by fear or doubt. Think for a moment about people you have encountered who seem to carry good fortune with them wherever they go. Always be the most skilled or the most experienced, but opportunities somehow find their path, enter rooms and leave impressions of confidence and joy. Why is this so? It is because their aura mirrors their inner belief that life favors them, will open, that resources will appear. That belief, held with persistence, radiates outward, calling to itself experiences that prove it true. By contrast, the individual who walks with the constant thought, "Nothing ever works out for me," carries an aura that proclaims defeat before the game begins. Life responds by reflecting back exactly what they most fear. Train your aura is to become conscious of your inner dominion. You allow to linger are not harmless. They are building the reality you live tomorrow. If you think scarcity, aura becomes a magnet for scarcity. If you think abundance, your aura magnetizes wealth. The choice is always yours, rarely feels like it, because most of us allow our minds to drift on autopilot. But when you seize control, when you begin to watch your inner conversation and deliberately choose new patterns, you begin to polish the mirror of your aura. As it clears, a brighter and more prosperous outer life. Emotion is the lifeblood of this mirror. A thought without feeling is a weak signal. Bathed in strong emotion, impresses itself deeply upon the aura. Why worry seems to attract problems so quickly? It is filled with emotion, making the signal strong. But in the same way, of abundance soaked in gratitude and joy has the power to draw blessings with equal certainty. Most consistently is what your aura mirrors back into the physical world. The process is not instantaneous, but it is inevitable. The reflection in a mirror adjusts instantly when you change your position. Your aura adjusts the moment you shift your inner state. Reflection may take time to solidify, but the unseen change happens immediately. Therefore, the key is persistence. Enough to think of abundance once or twice. You must dwell in it, return to it, embody it until it becomes your natural state. You live in it inwardly. You will one day wake up to find it mirrored so clearly in your outer life that you will wonder why you ever doubted. Aura is a mirror of your dominant thoughts and feelings. This mirror never lies, never deceives, never malfunctions. If you dislike what it shows in your life today, The solution is not to smash the mirror, but to change the image you present to it. Train your thoughts, guide your feelings, cultivate gratitude, and your aura will polish itself into a clear and radiant reflection of abundance. When that happens, an opportunity cannot help but find their way into your experience, for they are simply following the image you have chosen to live within. Imagination is the seed of wealth. You must first see it and feel it as real before it can manifest. Creation in this world began as invisible vision in someone's mind. The house you live in, the chair you sit on, you wear, all of them were once only ideas in the unseen realm of imagination. Nothing can exist outwardly unless it is first born inwardly. It is why imagination is not a child's plaything, not a distraction from reality, but the most powerful tool given to us for shaping our destiny. Comes to attracting wealth, imagination is the fertile soil where seeds of abundance are planted, nurtured, and brought into full harvest. Without it is aimless. With it, even small action becomes unstoppable. Imagination for wealth is not to sit idly daydreaming, but to enter into the state of being wealthy before the evidence appears. See yourself handling money with ease, making wise decisions, living in security, and giving generously. You must not only see it, but feel it. Imagination that lacks emotion is like a seed scattered on stone. It cannot take root. But when you imagine with the fullness of feeling, embody the joy, peace, and gratitude of already being abundant, your aura begins to shift. That shift is the true beginning of wealth, is only a reflection of that inner picture. And once the inner vision is alive, the outer must eventually conform. Sculptor staring at a block of marble. To the untrained eye, it looks like nothing but cold stone. Yet the sculptor imagines the figure already alive within it. He sees the outline, the posture, the detail, and then his hands follow the vision. That inner image, his hands would strike aimlessly, but with it, every movement is purposeful. In the same way, imagination shapes the unseen picture of wealth within you, and your actions follow in harmony. The clearer and more consistent the image, precise the results. The difficulty for most people is that they misuse imagination. Instead of picturing abundance, they picture debt, failure. They rehearse the worst case scenarios so vividly that their aura is drenched in fear. Life then mirrors those fearful pictures back to them, because the world is cruel, but because imagination has done its job. It has given form to what was planted. You must guard the door of your imagination with diligence. What you allow yourself to picture repeatedly becomes the blueprint of your reality. Train imagination for wealth. You must enter the inner world deliberately. Close your eyes and picture yourself in the life you desire. Dream, but as a present reality. See the home, the comfort, the freedom. Feel the gratitude of paying bills with ease, giving without hesitation, the security of having more than enough. Let these feelings rise until they become natural. They feel like the truth of who you are. Each time you practice this, you water the seed of wealth. Slowly but surely, aura takes on the vibration of abundance, and the outer world responds. Imagination also opens the door to inspiration. When you dwell in the inner picture of wealth, ideas begin to flow. Ideas for business, opportunities, solutions. These are not random pathways by which the inner vision becomes outer reality. Without imagination, such ideas never come, because the mind is too clouded with lack. But when you imagine richly, your creativity awakens, and the universe provides channels through which abundance can reach you. Remember this unshakable truth. Live beyond the picture you hold in imagination. If you continually see yourself as struggling, you will remain in struggle no matter how hard you try to change it outwardly. But if you dare to shift the picture, if you dare to see yourself as already wealthy, the outer world must bend to match it. Imagination is the seed, the beginning, the root, is simply its natural fruit. Train your imagination to live in abundance now, and soon will confirm the reality of what you've already embraced. Within, tunes your energy to the frequency of abundance and opens invisible doors. Gratitude is not simply saying, thank you. When something good happens, a spiritual state, a vibration of the heart that transforms your entire aura. When you are truly grateful, you declare to the universe that you already possess richness, and in doing so, you align yourself with more of it, striking a tuning fork inside your being. Whatever note you strike will resonate outward, and the world around you must answer in harmony. You strike the note of lack, you vibrate scarcity, and life reflects it. But if you strike the note of gratitude, you vibrate abundance, and life mirrors it back in opportunities, blessings, and wealth. The beauty of gratitude is that it shifts your focus from what is missing to what is already present. This shift is powerful. The aura responds to where the mind dwells most often. A person who constantly thinks, don't have enough, I need more, is unfair, builds an aura heavy with dissatisfaction and lack. That aura pushes abundance away because it declares but the one who looks at even the smallest possession, a roof, a meal, a kind word, and feels genuine gratitude for it, radiates the message, I am full, I am provided for already. That vibration magnetizes more provision because the aura is aligned with sufficiency rather than scarcity. Is not blind to challenges, gratitude does not ignore problems. Instead, it acknowledges them while choosing to see the blessings within them. When you can look at difficulty and still find reasons to give thanks. Perhaps the lesson learned, the strength gained, the clarity received, you elevate your aura to a higher frequency. This higher frequency cannot coexist with despair. It attracts solutions, allies, pathways where before there seemed to be only walls. Gratitude turns stumbling blocks into stepping stones, not because the outer world has changed yet. Your inner state has shifted. And once the inner changes, the outer must follow. The connection between gratitude and wealth is unbreakable. Who live in constant complaint often repel prosperity even when opportunities are before them. Their aura is closed, contracted, resistant. Gratitude opens invisible doors. It expands the aura, makes it warm and inviting. Wealth gravitates to this openness because it feels welcomed. Think of gratitude as a host preparing a home. When the atmosphere is welcoming, guests are eager to enter. When the aura radiates gratitude, enters naturally, for it finds a space prepared. One of the greatest secrets of gratitude is that it multiplies what you have. When you give thanks for a little, that little grows into more. When you despise or ignore what you have, even that begins to slip away. Whatever you celebrate. If you celebrate lack by constantly focusing on it, you see more lack. If you celebrate abundance through gratitude, it is not superstition, it is the natural law of resonance. To practice gratitude is to train your aura daily. Simple things. Breathe and give thanks for the breath itself, for the fact that life continues to flow through you. Thanks for the bed that carried you through the night, the water that cleanses you, the food that nourishes you, the relationships that lift you. You give thanks, feel the vibration of sufficiency expand within. This practice polishes the aura, making it bright, magnetic, alive. Over time, you will notice how more doors open. Doors that seemed closed before, connections that arise unexpectedly, resources that flow from unseen places, is the silent key that unlocks these doors. Gratitude also protects you from fear and greed. When you are grateful, you do not grasp desperately for more, nor do you fear losing what you have. You live in calm assurance that life is already abundant and always will be. Thins your aura, giving it a quiet power that attracts without struggle. Gratitude is not weakness. It is the highest strength, anchors you in abundance, even when appearances may seem otherwise. Gratitude tunes your energy to the frequency of abundance and opens invisible doors because it transforms your perception, your vibration, ultimately your reality. What you bless multiplies. What you give thanks for grows. To live in gratitude is to declare to the universe, ready, wealthy. And when that declaration radiates through your aura, life responds by bringing more wealth, more blessings, More opportunities than you ever thought possible. Gratitude is not only the key, it is the foundation upon which lasting abundance is built. Detachment from fear and lack allows your aura to radiate certainty and attract prosperity. One of the greatest obstacles to wealth is not the absence of opportunity, but the presence of fear. Fear is a thief, silent drain that pulls your energy downward and clouds your aura with heaviness. When your inner world is dominated by fear, fear of not having enough, fear of losing what you have, fear of failing, your aura broadcasts that vibration into the world. And because life mirrors your inner state, fears often take shape in outer reality. But when you release fear and detach from the belief that you are incomplete without money, your aura transforms. It begins to radiate calm certainty, and certainty is magnetic. It draws prosperity because it communicates to life itself. I am ready. I am secure. Detachment does not mean indifference. It does not mean you stop caring about wealth or stop desiring more. Instead, it means you are no longer enslaved by the thought of money. You no longer tie your identity, your worth, or your happiness to its presence or absence. You detach. You shift from chasing wealth desperately to attracting it naturally. Think of a person who grasps tightly at every opportunity out of fear. People sense their desperation, doors close, and wealth slips through their fingers. The person who walks with quiet confidence, but who desires abundance, but does not tremble without it. That person radiates trust, flows toward them like water, finding its level. Fear and lack are heavy vibrations, and they contract the aura. They make it small, tense. Imagine a clenched fist. It cannot receive because it is closed. That is the aura of someone bound by fear. But when you detach, your aura opens like a hand extended. It radiates openness, receptivity, and trust. This openness is irresistible to prosperity. Rushes to fill the space you created by releasing fear. The more you let go of your grip, the more freely abundance flows. Also liberates you from the illusion of control. Fear often makes us cling, trying to force outcomes or manipulate circumstances. Tightens the aura further, pushing wealth away. Detachment says, I trust that what is mine will come, what is not will pass. In that trust you relax, and your aura becomes expansive. Opportunities are noticed more easily because you are no longer blinded by panic. You act with clarity instead of desperation, and clarity attracts passivity but wise activity guided by inner peace. This principle is visible in every aspect of life. In relationships, one clings too tightly out of fear of losing the other. They often drive the person away. But when one is secure and detached, relationships flourish. True with wealth. Fearful attachment repels it. Calm detachment attracts it. Becomes either a magnet or repellent based on whether you live in fear or in trust. Paradox of detachment is that the less you fear losing wealth, the more wealth you attract. When you declare inwardly, I am abundant whether or not I see it yet, I am whole whether or not I hold it yet, you remove the energy of desperation. Life then delivers proof of what you already feel. It is not wealth that creates certainty, but certainty that creates wealth. Training yourself to detach requires daily practice. Each time fear of lack rises, and remind yourself that abundance is not outside of you, it is within you. No circumstance can take away the source of your prosperity, flows from your inner state. Release the need to chase and choose instead to radiate. As you do, your aura becomes a beacon of calm strength, gravitates toward that light. Detachment from fear and lack is not the end of desire. It is the purification of desire. Desire freed from chains, desire uplifted by faith, desire that no longer pleads but declares. When you live in this state, broadcasts certainty, and certainty is irresistible to prosperity. Fear whispers, I hope it will come. Detachment proclaims, ready, mine. And life, faithful to the vibration you hold, answers that proclamation with abundance. To sustain wealth, live in the consciousness of already being abundant, not waiting for it, but embodying it. Wealth is not truly about the numbers in a bank account, a state of being, a way of perceiving life. Many people may stumble into wealth for a season, but unless their inner state matches abundance, soon slips away. This is why lottery winners often return to poverty and why those who build prosperity from within can lose everything yet rebuild with ease. The difference lies in consciousness. If your inner world is rooted in lack, no amount of money will ever feel enough. Consciousness is trained in abundance. You carry wealth wherever you go, and life continually reflects it back to you in visible form. Sustaining wealth means more than acquiring it. It means living from the place where wealth is natural, expected, and secure. When you embody abundance, no longer live as though wealth is something you might one day achieve, you live as though it is already woven into your being. This consciousness shifts the way you speak, the way you act, the way you even carry yourself. You make decisions not out of fear of losing, but out of confidence in increase. Your aura broadcasts this certainty, delivers circumstances that sustain and multiply what you already hold. Living in the consciousness of abundance requires you to shift from waiting for to being now. Waiting is a vibration of lack. It says, yet have it, I am incomplete. Being is a vibration of fullness. It declares, I already am abundant, is simply revealing it more each day. This difference may seem subtle, but in the unseen realm, it is everything. The aura cannot radiate both lack and abundance at the same time. You must choose the state you live in, and the world will mirror it faithfully. Abundance, even small resources, feel rich because you handle them with care, gratitude, and confidence. This attitude multiplies them. When you live in lack, even great wealth feels fragile because you fear its loss, sabotages your actions, and draws circumstances that confirm the fear. Sustaining wealth, therefore, primarily about how much you hold, but how you hold it inwardly. Your consciousness is the container, will always match the size of that container. To live in abundance, you must practice seeing yourself as already secure, already prosperous. This is not self-deception. It is alignment with the deeper truth that life itself is overflowing. There is no end to ideas, opportunities, resources. When you realize this, you stop approaching wealth with desperation and start engaging it with peace. Peace becomes the very ground on which prosperity grows steadily and safely. Consider a tree planted by flowing water. It does not strain to be nourished, simply abides in the consciousness that the river is always there. Because of this certainty, it bears fruit in season after season. In the same way, in the consciousness of abundance, you are rooted in the awareness that the source of wealth never runs dry. Circumstances may shift, economies may change, but your aura remains anchored in the flow of infinite supply. This unshakable inner state sustains wealth regardless of outer fluctuations. Sustaining abundance also means expressing it. When you embody wealth within, flows naturally from you. You give not out of fear of loss, but out of confidence in replenishment. This giving amplifies your aura, strengthening its vibration of abundance, and wealth circles back to you multiplied. Hoarding weakens the aura, generosity expands it. The more you live as though you already are abundant, the more life ensures you continue to be so. Sustaining wealth is about identity. See yourself as poor, no riches will convince you otherwise, and poverty will eventually reclaim its ground. But if you see yourself as abundant, loss can undo it, and prosperity will continually return. The outer follows the inner. Live in the consciousness of abundance is to know that wealth is not something you keep, but something you are. It is not a possession. It is an expression. When you live from that truth, wealth is not a fleeting visitor, but a lifelong companion. Wealth is not something that begins outside of you, something you must chase with desperate hands. It is a reflection of who you choose to be inwardly. Your aura, the unseen field of your thoughts, beliefs, creates the conditions by which prosperity finds you. If it is filled with fear, lack, and doubt, it repels wealth. But if it radiates gratification, certainty, and peace, it becomes a living magnet for abundance. We have explored flows back to This one reality you attract, not what you want, but what you are. To train your aura is to take responsibility for your inner world. It is to choose the vibration of abundance before it appears in the outer, in your imagination, to give thanks for it in advance, to detach from fear, and to embody it as though it is already yours. In this state, consistently, the outer world has no choice but to adjust itself to match the inner picture. Doors open, opportunities appear, and prosperity takes root, not as a fleeting gift, but as a steady companion. The conclusion is clear, is not waiting for you in the distance. It is waiting within you now in the choices you make about what to think, what to feel, and what to imagine. Train your aura, and you train your destiny. Radiate abundance, and wealth must follow. When you live as though you already are what you desire to be, with proof, and your world becomes the reflection of the inner riches you have embraced. Wealth is not pursued, it is expressed. You express it faithfully within. It becomes inevitable without